The sky turned orange over the edge of the desert, where the stars usually came out slow and quiet. But tonight, something loud was coming. Terran stood near the edge of the spaceport fence. He was just a technician, fixing wires and watching blinking. Lights all day. Nothing exciting ever happened. But now he saw a fireball cutting through the clouds like a sword from heaven. "Is that a meteor?" asked Loma, his friend and co-worker. "No," Terran said, eyes wide. "That's a ship, and it's crashing." Within minutes, alarms screamed across the spaceport. Security trucks rolled in. Military flyers zoomed above them, heading toward the crash site just 5 kilometers away. Terran grabbed his toolkit. "I think I'm going." Loma stared at him. "Why? We're not soldiers." "They'll need techs to check the systems." "You're crazy." "Maybe." Terran climbed into the back of a transport. His heart beat fast. Not from fear, but something else. Curiosity. Wonder. A small voice inside him said, "This is going to change everything." The crash site was glowing. In the night. The alien ship was huge, longer than 5 Earth buses, shaped like a dark spear and half buried in the sand. Parts of it still burned. Steam rose into the air. The military had already set up a perimeter, but they didn't stop Terran. They waved him through when he showed his ID and toolkit. "This thing fell from orbit," said a commander. "Only one survivor." "One?" Terran asked. "Locked in the prison chamber. We found her inside chains made of some kind of living metal." He didn't know what to say. A prison ship? Who were they holding? They walked closer. The back of the ship had cracked open, showing scorched walls and flashing alien symbols. The power systems were still humming. Terran looked at the damage. "It's not just a crash," he said slowly. "This ship was attacked." The commander looked at him. "What do you mean? See those burns on the outer hull? That's laser fire, not heat from entry. Someone shot this ship out of the sky." The commander frowned and spoke into his radio. "Get the full scan team. We need to know who wanted this thing dead." They brought the survivor out an hour later. Terran was helping power down part of the engine room when he saw her, tall, armored, and walking slowly under heavy guard. Chains covered her arms, legs, and neck. 10 soldiers surrounded her with pulse rifles. She had pale silver skin and glowing blue eyes. Her armor looked fused to her body like it had melted there. She didn't look afraid. She looked tired. The soldiers moved fast, taking her to a holding cell made from a transport container. Terran stared at her as she passed. She stared back, just for a second. Her eyes locked with his, calm and sharp. She didn't blink. Then she was gone. People whispered her name the next day. Velra. The name echoed through the spaceport halls like a storm. Some said she had destroyed 30 ships in one day. Some said she could kill with only her mind. Others said she once brought down an empire. Terran listened, but didn't speak. He was thinking about her eyes. They didn't seem evil. They seemed alone. Later, he was sent back into the alien ship to finish checking the power core. Most people were scared to go in. Terran wasn't. He worked alone, moving past broken walls and half-dead machines. The ship was strange, cold but alive, like it was watching him. Then he heard it, a soft voice. Human. He spun around. She was there, Velra. Somehow she had escaped her chains, but she wasn't attacking. She stood in the dark, leaning against the wall, breathing hard. Her armor was cracked. Blood, if that's what it was, dripped from her shoulder. Terran froze. "How did you get here?" She didn't answer right away. Then she spoke, her voice quiet but deep. "I will not harm you." "Why?" "You are not like the others, Terrans." Hands shook. "I'm just a tech." She gave a small nod. "That is why." He stepped back slowly. "They'll come looking." "Yes, I will not fight them." "Why are you here?" Velra looked up. Her eyes glowed softly in the dark. They hunted me because I refused to burn your world. Taran blinked. What? I was given an order. Destroy your colony on Mira 4. I did not. Taran remembered that place. It was a mining colony. Peaceful, not a military base. They said I betrayed them, Velra continued. So they sent the prison ship, but I broke free, and it crashed. Why are you telling me this? Taran asked. She stared at him for a long moment. Then she said the words that would stay in his heart forever. Because you looked at me without fear. Taran didn't know what to say. Before he could speak, soldiers rushed into the ship. Lights flashed, voices shouted. Velra raised her hands and knelt down. Taran watched as they dragged her away again, but this time, she didn't take her eyes off him. That night, Taran couldn't sleep. He sat on the roof of the spaceport garage, staring up at the stars. Somewhere out there, people had lied about Velra. They had tried to erase her, but she was still standing, and she had thanked him. The most dangerous alien woman in the galaxy had said, thank you. No one would ever believe him. But Taran didn't care. He believed her, and something deep inside told him. This was only the beginning. 2 days passed after the crash. The alien ship was locked down. No one was allowed near it now, except top military officers and a few science teams. Still, Taran couldn't stop thinking about what Velra had said. They hunted me because I refused to burn your world. Most people still believed she was a killer. The news channels called her the Silver Butcher. Some said she had destroyed colonies. Others said she had eaten her own crew. It was all noise. But Taran had seen something else. Her eyes didn't hold hate. They held pain, and she had thanked him. Taran returned to his regular duties at the spaceport. He fixed landing lights, checked fuel lines, and cleaned solar panels. It was all boring again, but his mind stayed busy. Late at night, when most workers were gone, he logged into the spaceport archive and searched for the name Velra. Almost everything was blocked. Only top-level officers had access to her full record. Still, Taran found small reports, whispers of her refusing to follow, violent orders, rumors of her protecting civilians, even humans. He needed more. He needed truth. The next morning, an officer approached him at the hangar. You. Technician Taran, right? The man asked. Yes, sir. We need someone to inspect the holding cell generator. Keep shorting out. Come quickly. Taran's heart skipped. The cell generator? That meant Velra. He grabbed his toolkit and followed. The holding area was inside an old transport container. Guards stood outside with heavy rifles. The door opened with a hiss, and Taran stepped inside. Velra sat in the far corner. Her arms and legs were chained again, but lighter this time. Her wounds had been cleaned. Her armor was still cracked. She looked up slowly. Taran didn't speak. He knelt and opened the floor panel, pretending to work. His hands moved, but his mind raced. The guard stood outside. Only cameras watched him. Then he heard her voice again. You came back. He froze for a second, then whispered, Yes. I am glad. Taran looked at her. Why are they keeping you alive? They want to trade me. For what? Information, power, fear. He nodded. That sounded like humans. I've been reading about you, he said softly. Some say you refused to attack Mira 4. Velra looked away. That is true. They called you a traitor. I saved a world. My people call that weakness. Taran swallowed hard. Why not? Tell them? Why not speak your truth? They do not listen. They only want a monster. So I give them silence. Taran closed the panel. The generator was fine. He had come here only for her words. Before leaving, he turned to her. Can I help? She tilted her head. You already did, when you listened. He didn't smile, but something warm grew in his chest. As he left, she added softly, "I remember your face. Do not lose your heart, human." That night, Taryn shared the story with Loma. They sat on a bench near the loading dock, drinking cheap juice and watching small ships take off. "You talked to her?" Loma asked, shocked. She spoke clearly. "She knows our language. She saved a colony." Loma shook his head. "And you believe that?" "I do." "Why would she tell you the truth?" "Because I didn't treat her like a beast." Loma stood. "Taryn, listen. You're smart, but this is dangerous. People disappear for less." "I don't care. She's not human." Taryn looked at the stars. "Maybe that's why I believe her." The next day, Taryn returned to the alien ship. This time he had permission. He was assigned to help shut down the core fully. While inside, he found a locked panel with alien markings. It looked like a data box. With a few careful moves, he opened it. Inside was a thin disk, glowing with soft blue light. It pulsed when he touched it. He slipped it into his pocket. Taryn worked all night in secret. He had old decoding software on his home system. The disk was hard to crack, but slowly, bits of data appeared. He saw video logs, alien officers shouting at Velra, orders to destroy innocent stations, her quiet refusals. Then a trial, then a trap. She had been betrayed by her own command. The last file showed her in chains on the prison ship. Taryn stared at the screen, hands shaking. She was telling the truth. Velra wasn't a monster. She was a hero. He ran to the commander's office the next day with the disk. The guards stopped him. He shouted, "It's proof! She's innocent!" But they laughed. One guard said, "Get this tech boy out of here." Taryn shouted again, "She saved your people, and you treat her like dirt." They dragged him away. His disk fell and cracked on the ground. The data blinked once, then died. Taryn sat outside for hours. No one came to speak with him. No one believed him, but he didn't give up. Later that night, Taryn visited the holding cell again. He wasn't supposed to, but he knew a way in. The guards had changed shifts. Cameras had blind spots. He stepped inside. Velra looked up. "You look tired," she said. "No one believes me." "I do." He sat on the floor across from her. "I found your ship's memory log. I saw what they did to you." Velra nodded. "Then you have seen the truth. They'll come for you, won't they?" "Yes." "They do not allow traitors to live." Taryn clenched his fists. "You're not a traitor. You're the bravest person I've ever met." Silence filled the room. Then softly, Velra said, "You are strange, human. Brave, but soft." Taryn looked at her. "What will you do when they come?" "I will not run. I want to help." "You already have." She leaned forward, eyes glowing gently in the dark. "When the time comes, I will remember you." You looked at me and saw more than a weapon. Taryn stood up. "I'll do more. I'll make them see it too." Velra smiled, just barely. "I believe you, Taryn." He left quietly, and in the silence that followed, Earth's most feared prisoner sat still and waited. Because for the first time, someone believed in her. The stars were quiet, but Taryn's mind was loud. He sat at his desk, staring at his half-broken data reader. The memory disk from Velra's ship had stopped working after the soldiers grabbed him, but some files were still saved on his backup system. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. All he wanted was to know the full truth. Why was Velra really hunted? He clicked through the broken video logs one by one. Most were damaged. The screen flickered. Voices cut in and out. But some parts were clear enough. Velra, Standing tall inside a large hall, alien officers shouting in a strange language, then a loud word that repeated again and again in subtitles, "Traitor!" By morning, Terran had learned more than he wanted to know. Velra had once been a commander in a powerful alien fleet. Her people ruled 5 systems. Their job was simple: obey, destroy, and never question orders. But Velra had broken that rule. The Bai? Video showed a planet full of humans. A colony named Mira 4. Farmers, children, no weapons. Her commander had told her to wipe them out. Velra had refused. She said, "This is not war, this is murder," and for that, they had chained her. They erased her name from the military records and told every other race in the galaxy she was dangerous. Now she was hunted by her own kind and feared by every other. Terran sat back in his chair. His hands were cold. He understood everything. Now, Velra didn't crash by accident. They tried to erase her forever, and Earth was caught in the middle. Later that day, Terran walked across the base to find Loma again. His friend was under a cargo ship fixing a fuel pump. "You still thinking about her?" Loma asked, without looking up. Terran knelt beside him. "I've seen the truth." "Yeah?" "She saved a human colony. She disobeyed a direct order and protected innocent people." Loma slid out and wiped his hands. "Even if it's true, no one's going to listen to you. I have video logs. You already tried showing the commander. What happened?" They laughed, threw me out. Loma leaned closer. "Terran, listen. You're not wrong to care, but this isn't a game. If you push too hard, they might make you disappear too." Terran stood up. "Then let them try. I won't stay silent." That evening, Terran returned to the alien ship one last time. He had one goal: to unlock the rest of Velra's systems. The core was still active, even if it was hidden beneath broken wires and half-dead circuits. If he could get access to the main databank, he could find stronger proof, maybe even a full record of her trial, her orders, and her mission. He entered, the ship alone. Most guards didn't care anymore. The military believed they had already taken everything useful. But they were wrong. Terran crawled through a side tunnel until he reached a control room. Strange glowing panels lined the walls. He took out a translator chip and placed it on the screen. Alien symbols shifted into English. "Command core locked. DNA key required." Terran frowned. "DNA key?" he whispered. Then he remembered. Velra. The next day he went back to the holding cell. He brought a toolbox with fake parts just to fool the guards. Velra looked up as he entered. "You again?" "I need your help," Terran whispered. She raised an eyebrow. "With what?" "Your ship's command core is locked. It needs your DNA. Just a touch." Velra studied him for a long moment. "Why?" "I think there's more evidence in there. Records of your mission, of what they did to you. If I can unlock it, I can prove you were right." Velra stood slowly. Her chains rattled. "You risk much, human." Terran nodded. "You did too, for people like me." Velra took a deep breath. "Very well. Take this." She stepped forward and gently touched a small flat metal tool in Terran's hand. Her skin glowed for a moment, and the tool blinked blue. "It will work now," she said. Terran whispered. "Thank you." She leaned close. "If they come for me again, do not stay near. They will kill to silence the truth." Terran replied softly, "Then let them try." He rushed back to the ship and plugged the tool into the console. The screen lit up. Access. Granted, dozens of files opened. One after another, reports poured out. Ship logs, mission orders, trial recordings, audio from commanders. Terran downloaded everything to his secure drive. But then, something new appeared. A warning. "Alert. Tracking beacon detected. Enemy signal locked." Terran's eyes widened. "No." The ship was still sending signals, and now someone out there knew where Velra was. The sky above Earth changed that night. A massive alien ship entered orbit without warning. It was black, long, and shaped like a dagger. Light from the sun reflected off its metal skin like fire. All Earth satellites caught the same signal. Surrender the traitor or face destruction. The message repeated in every human language. People panicked. News stations screamed. Military bases went silent. Velra stood inside her cell, staring up at the sky through a small window. She knew who had come, and she knew they wouldn't wait long. At the command center, officers shouted orders. Some wanted to prepare for war. Others said to hand Velra over. She's not worth a war, one general said. Give them what they want. Terran stormed into the room, holding his drive. She's not a traitor. She saved humans. The generals turned to him, confused. You again? One asked. Terran placed the drive on the table. This has everything. Video, audio, full records. She was ordered to destroy a human colony, and she refused. Another general asked, Why should we believe you? Because I've seen her eyes, Terran said. She didn't ask for help. She didn't beg. She only wanted the truth to live. The room went silent. Terran added, If we hand her over, we're no better than the ones who betrayed her. But even as they argued, the alien ship above, Earth opened its weapon bays. Velra, sitting calmly in her cell, whispered to herself, They have come. As I warned, the sky above the world now held a choice. One alien woman, once called a monster, waited for the final answer. And one human, just a young technician, had placed everything on the line to speak her truth. The galaxy was watching. What would Earth do? The sky was no longer safe. A huge alien ship floated above Earth like a shadow. Its long black shape blocked the sunlight in some areas. All over the planet, people stared up in fear. It did not speak kindly. It did not ask. Its message was cold and simple. Surrender the traitor Velra, or Earth will face full destruction. No one had seen such a ship before. It was larger than any human craft. Its weapons could destroy cities in seconds. Everyone knew it wasn't just a threat. It was a promise. In the underground base, panic spread quickly. Generals held emergency meetings. Soldiers loaded weapons. People shouted over each other. Terran stood quietly near the back of the command room, holding the data drive that proved Velra was not a criminal. He had given them everything, videos, files, voice logs. Still, many didn't want to listen. One officer yelled, If we don't give her up, they'll fire. Another snapped back, And if we do give her up, we betray our own values. She's not one of us. She saved us. She's an alien. But she protected humans when no one else did. Terran stepped forward. If we give her up, we're no better than the ones who lied about her. Some looked at him with doubt, others with respect. General Oren, the highest-ranking officer in the room, turned toward Terran. You've risked your life for this technician. Why? Terran answered calmly. Because truth matters. She did the right thing when it was hard. Now it's our turn. While the humans argued, Velra sat silently in her holding cell. She had heard the message from the ship above. She knew who it was. Her former commanders, the ones who called her traitor, the ones who tried to erase her name from history. She closed. Her eyes. They will come down, they will not wait long, and they will not show mercy. The door hissed open. Terran entered, breathless. They're still deciding. Velra gave a small nod. They will hand me over, she said softly. No, Terran said. Not all of them want that. They fear death. I do not blame them. I showed them your ship's memory logs. Velra looked surprised. And some believed me. Some didn't. I see. He stepped closer. What do you want us to do? Velra stared at him. I want you to live. Terran shook his head. That's not enough. You saved humans once. Let us return the favor. Velra lowered her head. I am tired, Terran. I have fought too long. Then let us fight now. Back in the command room, the debate grew louder. The alien ship had sent a countdown. 1 hour. General Oren stood before the group. We have a decision to make. Surrender Velra or prepare for war. Terran ran into the room again. She's not the enemy. The real enemy is orbiting our planet. With guns pointed at our homes! General Oren turned to the screen and pointed to the alien vessel. That ship is not here to speak. It is here to erase. He faced the room. But we are not children. We are not weak. We are human. And if we let them take someone who protected us, we lose more than a battle. We lose our soul. Silence filled the room. Then another voice said, We'll stand. Another added, We won't kneel. Soon, the entire room agreed. They would not surrender Velra. Fighters launched from Earth's surface. Old ships, but strong. Pilots flew with determination. Satellites turned their sensors toward the alien ship. Lasers were charged. Shields activated. Across the globe, Earth prepared for its first true interstellar war. Velra, still chained, heard the alarm and saw the flashing lights. Then 2 guards came in, but instead of dragging her away, they unlocked her chains. One of them said, The general wants you to fight. She looked up, confused. You trust me? The guard nodded once. Terran does, and that's enough. Velra was taken to a hangar. Inside stood her own repaired ship. Terran had worked on it every night. He knew her systems now. He had rebuilt the broken engine, welded the shattered panels, connected human parts to alien tech. She ran her fingers across the hull. You fixed her. I tried, Terran said. She's not pretty, but she can fly. Velra smiled for the first time. She is perfect. She stepped inside. Terran followed and sat at the side console. Wait, she said. You're coming? Of course. You could die. Then I'll die helping. Velra stared at him, then nodded. Then let us show them. Earth does not bow. The countdown ended. The alien ship fired. One blast struck a mountain, turning it to fire, but Earth's defenses answered. Lasers, missiles, and plasma bolts filled the sky. Velra's ship launched into the stars, flying beside human fighters. She led the charge with skill and fury. Terran watched her fight, guiding systems, sending power where it was needed. He didn't feel fear, only pride. The enemy ship was powerful, but slow. Its size made it an easy target. Velra's team struck, fast, breaking through its shields. Other alien ships appeared, but not to attack. They had watched the message Velra once sent. The truth had spread across space, and now some of them had come to fight for her. A great space battle lit up the darkness above Earth. Velra fought like a storm. Humans cheered over their radios. Terran saw it all, how one dangerous alien had become Earth's best hope, and he knew, no matter what happened next, Velra's name would never be forgotten again. The space above Earth was no longer silent. Bright lights flashed across the black sky. Red fire trails danced between the stars. Human fighters zoomed around the enemy ship like insects attacking a giant beast. The alien warship that had come to demand Velra was now surrounded. But it wasn't over yet. Inside her small fighter, Velra moved like lightning. Her fingers pressed buttons. Her eyes followed every enemy movement. Terran sat beside her, watching energy levels, reading alerts, and sending out repair commands to damaged human ships. 2 more fighters coming in behind us, he shouted. Velra spun the ship fast and sharp. The enemy blast missed them by inches. She fired back. 1 alien fighter exploded. The other pulled away. She's faster now, she said. That's because I fixed her heart, Terran replied, tapping the engine. Panel Velra gave the smallest smile. You are not just a technician. You are a warrior of machines. Far above, the massive alien warship moved slowly, but its weapons were deadly. One beam of light tore through 3 human ships in a second. General Oren watched from Earth's main control room. His hands were tight around the edge of the table. "They won't hold much longer," said one officer. "We need to strike the core," said another. "But we don't have the firepower." General Oren turned to a screen, showing Velra's ship. "Maybe we do." Velra's ship received a signal. It was Earth's command. "Enemy core located, sending coordinates. You're the only one fast enough to reach it." Taryn read the data and shouted, "They want us to hit the main core." Velra didn't hesitate. "Then that is where we go." She turned the ship and pushed the engines to full. The G-force pressed Taryn into his seat. They passed fire, explosions, human and alien ships in battle. Some helped them clear the way. Others followed behind in support. The enemy warship saw them coming and fired a long blast. Velra rolled left, then right, dodging by meters. Taryn gritted his teeth. "One hit and we're gone!" "I do not plan to be hit," she replied. Finally, they reached the side of the massive ship. It looked like a metal mountain floating in the sky. Lights blinked across its skin. Towers rose from its back. And deep in the center was the glowing red core. "Target locked," Taryn said. "Firing." Velra released a missile. It struck the core, but the shield held. "Shield too strong," Taryn said. "Then we go inside." "What?" She didn't explain. She flew straight into a side opening. The enemy ship's alarm screamed. Inside the warship, everything was chaos. Alien guards fired at them. Velra dodged. She flew through narrow halls, fire everywhere, alarms flashing. Taryn checked the map. "We're almost at the core." "Prepare to eject the core bomb," she said. "You have a bomb?" "I built one. Long ago, for times like this." Taryn opened the hatch. A metal ball the size of a suitcase rolled into place. Velra spun the Oab ship and dropped it. Then she pulled back hard. The ship turned, flew out of the enemy craft, and the bomb exploded behind them. A huge flash. Then a ripple of blue light. The enemy ship shuddered. Its center cracked. From space, everyone saw the fire spread. Cheers filled Earth's control room. Ships from other alien races began to pull away. Some even messaged peace signals. The battle was ending. The invincible ship had been stopped. Velra and Taryn's fighter returned slowly to Earth. The engine was weak now. The outside was burned. But it still flew. They landed near the spaceport where it all began. Crowds were already waiting. Soldiers, technicians, civilians, news cameras. When the ship doors opened, Velra stepped out first. She had small burns on her arm. Her armor was cracked, but her eyes were bright. Taryn followed behind her. His clothes were dirty and his face was tired, but he smiled. Everyone clapped. Some saluted, others simply stared. Velra looked at them all. She had been hunted, feared, called a monster. Now, they welcomed her like a hero. General Oren walked forward. "You saved Earth," he said. Velra nodded. "I did not do it alone." He turned to Taryn. "Neither of you did." Taryn stepped beside Velra. "She stood for us when no one else did," he said. "Now we've returned that strength." The crowd cheered again. Velra looked up at the sky. "The ones who sent that ship will come again. Maybe not today, maybe not soon, but they will come." General Oren nodded. "Then we'll be ready." She looked at Taryn. "And so will I." That night, the world changed. Velra's name spread across the news, but now they called her the Protector of Earth. Humans, for the first time, had fought beside an alien who once was feared. She had no country, no flag, but Earth gave her a place. In the weeks that followed, Earth formed new connections with other peaceful alien races. those who had watched and seen the truth. Velra stayed, helping train Earth's pilots, sharing her knowledge. And Terran? He didn't go back to fixing landing lights. He became something more, a bridge between worlds, a friend of the one no one believed in. One evening, as the sun set over the desert spaceport, Velra and Terran stood, together near the ship they had flown in battle. "You could leave now," Terran said. "You're free." Velra looked at the stars. "I could. But you're staying," she nodded. "Until they come again." "I will be here." Terran smiled. "We'll be ready." Velra looked at him one more time and said the words again, the ones that had started it all. "Thank you." The stars were quiet again. Weeks had passed since the battle. Earth had repaired its cities, buried its heroes, and started to believe in peace once more. But deep in the black of space, something was watching. Velra knew this peace would not last forever. She sat alone on the edge of the cliff near the desert base. Her eyes stared into the sky. Her long coat flapped in the wind. The sun was low, painting the land in gold. Terran walked up behind her, holding 2 cups of warm tea. "You're always watching the sky," he said. "I listen to it," Velra replied. He handed her the tea. "What does it say?" "Not yet," she said, "but soon." Terran sat beside her. "You think they'll come again?" "They sent one ship before," she said. "A giant one, but not the leaders." Terran sipped his tea and frowned. "So that was just a scout?" Velra nodded. "Yes, and the true enemy never forgets." Back at the base, a new ship had arrived, sleek and silver, with markings from another peaceful alien race. 2 ambassadors stepped out. They were from the Hilari Union, a calm race known for their light blue skin and glowing eyes. One of them held a small cube. "We bring a message," the Hilari ambassador said. "From the edge of the known galaxy." Velra and Terran stood beside General Orin as the cube lit up. A floating image appeared. It showed a burning planet, gray, cracked, lifeless. "Planet Vora 7, the ambassador said. "Destroyed 3 days ago." Terran's eyes widened. "How?" "Same weapon energy used in the attack on Earth," the ambassador replied. "But stronger, cleaner, no survivors." General Orin stepped forward. "Why send this to us?" "Because," the ambassador said slowly, "they left a message for her." The cube changed. Now it showed strange alien writing, slowly shifting into Earth's language. "You can run to the humans, Velra, but we will take this galaxy, and when we do, they'll burn with you." The room went silent. Terran looked at Velra. Her face was calm. Too calm. "They know I'm here," she said. "They know you helped Earth," General Orin added. "And now, they will come faster." Later that night, Velra stood in the training field. She was silent, staring at the stars again. Terran walked over. "We have maybe months, maybe less," he said. "I know. You're not afraid?" "I've faced them before. But this time, it's not just about you. It's about Earth." Velra nodded. "That is why I must leave." Terran blinked. "Leave?" She turned to him. "I need to find them before they gather full force. I know where they come from. I can go there. Slow them down. Maybe stop them." Terran's voice was quiet. "Alone?" "Yes." "No," he said. "I'm coming with you." Velra stared at him. "You are human. This is not your fight." Terran shook his head. "It became my fight the day I helped you escape. And now it's about all of us." Velra looked at him for a long time. Then she nodded. 3 days later, Earth gave them a new ship. It was the fastest human craft ever built, improved with alien parts, some from Velra's old fighter. It was silver-gray, with blue energy lines running across the wings. Velra named it Hope's Edge. Taryn stood inside the cockpit, running final checks. Velra entered and sat beside him. "Are you ready?" "As ready as a small Earthman can be," he joked. She gave him the tiniest smile. They lifted off quietly. No celebration this time, no crowd, only a few officers and General Oren watching from below. "Good luck," the general said over the radio. "You carry more than just weapons now. You carry our hope." Taryn replied, "We won't let you. Down." Then they vanished into the stars. Their journey began. Velra followed old paths, dark space lanes forgotten by most. They passed broken moons, dead stations, and silent planets. Taryn saw strange symbols on rocks, marks from ancient battles, warnings from long ago. "This place feels haunted," he whispered. "It is," Velra said. "These are the scars left behind by them, the Shadow Ones." Taryn had heard the name in stories, but now he saw the truth. The Shadow Ones weren't just warriors. They were destroyers, and Velra had once been one of them. They reached the edge of the known galaxy. There, beyond a glowing blue nebula, lay a system untouched by light. Velra pointed. "Their base is there." Taryn zoomed in with the scanners. "I count dozens of ships, maybe more." "They are building again," Velra said. "They are preparing." Taryn looked worried. "Can we destroy it?" "No. But we can send proof." They turned the ship and began recording. Photos, heat scans, ship types, energy signatures. Taryn made sure every detail was captured. "This will prove everything," he said. "Earth will know. The Hilari will know. The whole galaxy will know. What's coming? But they will see us too," Velra said, and she was right. A red light flashed on the screen. "We've been spotted!" Taryn shouted. "Hold on." Velra spun the ship, dodging an incoming beam. 3 enemy fighters chased them. "This ship is fast," Taryn said. "But not faster than them." Velra flew low, dipping between asteroids. One fighter hit a rock and exploded. The other 2 kept chasing. Taryn opened the back cannon. "I'll hold them off!" he fired. One fighter dodged, but the other caught a hit and spun out. "Nice shot," Velra said. "Lucky shot," Taryn replied. The last fighter stayed close, almost to warp. "Distance," she said, but the enemy fired again. The blast hit their rear wing. Alarms blared. "We're leaking fuel!" Velra gritted her teeth. "We need to make one jump, just one." The jump engine powered up. The enemy was charging one last shot. Then, flash! Hope's Edge vanished. The enemy. Fighter fired too late. Velra and Taryn were gone. Back near Earth, a signal appeared in the sky. A small light beam, the message from Hope's Edge. The proof. The galaxy was watching. Earth had received the message from Velra's ship, Hope's Edge, the proof of the coming danger. But the message was not just a warning, it was a call for help. General Oren stood before the council. His face was tired, but his eyes burned with resolve. "We cannot wait for them to arrive. We must prepare now." Voices in the room agreed. Plans were drawn, ships repaired, soldiers trained, and a new alliance formed, with alien races who also feared the shadow. Ones far away in the dark system beyond the nebula, Velra and Taryn drifted in the damaged ship. Fuel was low. Systems were failing. They had escaped the enemy fighters, but they were stranded. Taryn looked out the window at the stars. "We can't stay here," Velra nodded. "We must find a way home, and fast." They worked together, fixing broken circuits, patching holes in the hull. Taryn's hands moved carefully, guided by Velra's knowledge of alien tech. "This ship still has life," Velra said. "Like me." Taryn smiled. "We both have fight left." Days passed. They floated in silence, waiting for a chance. Then, a small signal blinked on the radar. "Ship detected," Terran said. Velra's eyes narrowed. "Enemy or friend?" The ship moved closer. It was not an enemy. It was the Hilari Union fleet. They had come to rescue. The Hilari ship opened its bay doors, and Hope's Edge was pulled inside. Velra and Terran breathed deeply as they entered the new ship. "This is only the beginning," Velra said. "And we will be ready," Terran replied. Back on Earth, the final preparations were complete. Pilots stood in their cockpits, soldiers marched in formation, and scientists watched data streams. Velra stood beside General Orin, now dressed in a new armor, shining, strong, and earth-made. "You have done more than anyone imagined," Orin said. Velra looked at him. "It was not me alone. It was everyone who chose to believe." Terran joined them, and everyone who refused to give up. The enemy was coming. The dark fleet moved through space, silent but deadly. But Earth and its allies were ready. The battle began far from Earth, near a blue star. Ships clashed with bright flashes and deep rumbles. Velra led the charge, flying her ship with grace and power. Terran managed their shields and weapons, working as one with her. Enemy ships exploded around them. In the middle of the battle, Velra's ship was hit. Alarms screamed. Terran rushed. "To help! We're losing power!" Velra gritted her teeth. "Keep fighting!" Terran found a broken wire and repaired it just in time. The ship roared back to life. Together, they pushed forward. They found the enemy leader's ship, a massive war fortress. Velra smiled. "This ends now." With a final burst of speed, she raced toward the fortress. Terran guided the missile launch. They hit the core. The fortress exploded in a shower of light. The enemy fleet broke and fled. Earth's forces cheered. Velra and Terran looked at each other, tired but victorious. Back on Earth, celebrations filled the streets. Velra was no longer the dangerous alien woman. She was the galaxy's protector. One evening, under a sky full of stars, Velra turned to Terran. "You saved me." He smiled. "You saved us all." She took his hand. "Thank you," she said softly, and the galaxy knew a new story, of courage, trust, and hope. Of a dangerous alien woman who was not dangerous at all.